So now we're going to switch from operations to compositions. So I'm going to find a nice bright blue color. And compositions, as I said before, is when we combine two functions, so it's on that vocabulary that we wrote down, by substituting one function into the other. So I'm going to begin with a very simple explanation. I'm going to try to build this up. So take a second, pause if you need to write down F and G. And if you pause and you're back now, welcome back. We are going to start with a very basic substitution. So I'm going to go ahead and write up F of 5. F of 5 is 5 plus 2 because I replaced the X with the 5. I subbed in 5 for the X, and that's 7. G of 5 is 5 squared plus 2 times 5 because I'm subbing in a 5 for the X. So 25 plus 10 equals 35. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We're building this up. So if I were to do G of -3, and I could do it with F too, but I'm going to switch over to G here. If I were to do G of -3, I would have -3 squared plus 2 times -3. Again, replace each X with whatever's on the inside here. So I've got 9 minus 6, or just plain old 3. All right, so now I'm going to change it up. I'm going to do G of a star. All right, so just a symbol of a star. Star squared plus 2 times star. Wherever that X is, it got replaced with a star. Hopefully you're following along with me right now. I'm totally fine if you're not writing this down, if you're just watching, because I'm building you up to what actual composition is going to look like. Here it comes. G of the letter F. G with the letter F substituted in. All right, so no big deal. F squared plus 2 times F. Now here's the kicker. This is what substitution for functions is going to look like. F squared, we know that F is X plus 2. So we are going to have X plus 2 squared plus 2 times X plus 2. There's the substitution of one function into the other. And it goes in just like we did before. It goes in for every single appearance of X. So now we actually have to do a little more work. X plus 2 times X plus 2, because that's what happens when you square something. And then I distribute 2X plus 4. So X squared plus 2X plus 2X plus 4. And then this piece over here, 2X plus 4. So my final answer is going to be X squared. 1, 2, 3. So 2X plus 2X plus 2X, 6X, plus 4 plus 4 plus 8. That is your first example of function composition. Now, we're going to flip that. We're going to make it even simpler. So I'm going to go in the opposite direction. F parentheses G. So I take F, which is X plus 2, and I just write G plus 2. G is X squared plus 2X. So X squared plus 2X. There's my G plus 2. And my final composition here is X squared plus 2X plus 2. There's your composition. It's subbing one into the other. Now I'm going to try to example you to death over here. So I got plenty of examples. And what I'm going to do is write up before I get to those examples what these are going to look and sound like. So when we do function compositions, you are going to say out loud, whoa, I can spell, f of g or g of f. Now that's if you're using the functions f and g like I was using up here. All right, so you're going to actually say out loud f of g or g of f. Here's what that looks like. F parentheses g. F of g of x or g of f, g parentheses f of x. All right, now that is function notation. That is writing g into f. Now there is another way to write this. You might also hear fog or goff. You might also hear or see fog or goff. That is saying f of g with an x on the outside. It's the exact same thing. It's just another way to write it. So we are increasing our mathematical literacy here by recognizing these multiple forms. So f of g of f of x is the same thing as above. Okay, so I just want you to know these are all the same thing. Goff is g of f of x, which is the same f on the inside of g. Okay, so these two columns here are the same all the way down. So when we look at this column, all of these, you are plugging g into f. That's what that first column is doing. G is going into f, g is going into f, g is going into f. My second column over here, you are doing the opposite. Plug f into g. All right, you're plugging f into g. All right, so I'm going to pause the recording here and we will pick back up on the next slide.